Right now, we'll be discussing other storm potential that is still a long ways away. In fact, it's only a week from now, so next Wednesday, that there's even a chance this storm could be getting Caribbean to the Gulf, and it's the one we've deemed this 98L, this Invest. So let's start here. This is what we've been discussing, and we'll continue as we get up through there. It's, I think, on everybody's mind. So let's start with it. It's the tropical wave, and right now, still a lot of storm activity that is east of the Windward Islands here, Trinidad, Tobago, South America here. See, there isn't a lot of organization. There's still a large cluster of storm activity that's been blown into northern countries of South America right now, but as it will make its way into the Caribbean, there are forecasts that this could organize and then make its way from the Caribbean northward from there into the potential for the Gulf of Mexico. But I want to point out that some of these storm tracks taking a bend more north, having a name to more Florida, and even staying in the eastern Atlantic altogether. Those are some of the forecast tracks that we see are with our hurricane forecast data that take into account if a system's already developed, but it hasn't. So that's one thing to think of. This is another forecast where we take a forecast and then we kind of do some small changes and run them all over again. You see, there's still a very, very large area that there are potential tracks. In fact, if I would just outline them here, look at this, all the way from the Yucatan Peninsula all the way to the eastern Atlantic. So there is still a wide variety of potential tracks the system could take. This is just one of them, but this is one of our best forecasts out of the United States. Shows a little bit of potential organization here, getting as it's into the western Caribbean, not until the beginning of next week. But this has been taking another turn and just into the Yucatan to Cancun, it says here, and that's not a forecast I'd want to see, taking it through the Yucatan Peninsula or north from there. That's just one forecast, though. Compare it to another forecast out of Europe. But look at this. This is a 350-mile difference, folks, between next week, 7 days from now. That's next Wednesday, from there to even off the coast and southern tip of Florida. So there are still a lot of things to be happening within the atmosphere that would determine the track to it. And let's show you a few of these features here right now. A lot of it will be our Bermuda high. That's the high pressure that is centered near Bermuda here. This is one forecast, the American one, again, that we have in the U.S. And a big storm system that's into the continental U.S. or even here into Canada, that will have a part in kind of steering that storm system away. Those features are both a little farther east, might allow that storm to sneak past them and go west, but you can see out of Europe, that forecast brings that trough, you could say, down a little farther south than Bermuda high east, so it would tend to push that storm more to Florida into the Atlantic. There are still a long ways to go and a lot of things that can happen, so there's still very low potential things could happen here. Now, what we do know, Hurricane Fiona is a major hurricane Category 4 status. Some of the best news out of Bermuda, it goes west and starts to weaken, so it may have more of a minimal impact there. There are still other areas of concern. There's Gaston, but the thing is, we'll be keeping very close watch with still very low potential that storm could have from us a long time to now. There again is just a closer look at those two systems out in the Atlantic. Hermine would be the next named storm. But here locally, we'd seen an isolated shower or two try to develop. You can see it outside Terrebonne Parish, outside of Houma. You could see an isolated shower or two as you get towards Mississippi, but overall, there isn't a whole lot of rain out of this. It's the heat, 90s, and the heat index making it feel even hotter. This is what we'll have to get through over the next day or two. These weak systems wrapping around here, the big bubble of heat that could be record heat as we get to the next couple of days. In fact, the record high tomorrow is 95, and that's the aim we've got for tomorrow at 95 degrees. It's right into the 7-day forecast. There it is, 95 as fall begins. 8:04, I believe, and I think that time's right. It does get slightly cooler into the weekend, but the next big fall front, that's next week. We'll start to feel cooler and drier by the middle of next week, too.